Hello once again, everyone. It's good to be with you. Let me be straightforward. Now is not total factual evidence time. Now is not complain about SJW's time. Right now is complete and total honesty and personal opinion and civic duty time. This is something I've never talked about publicly before, even though in terms of who I support this election, I think it's pretty clear I support Donald Trump. However, there have been a lot of voices lately coming from prominent YouTubers um, that are calling for regular YouTubers or people who just hold accounts um, to go and coerce other popular YouTubers who don't necessarily deal in politics to endorse Hillary Clinton, or at least to make a statement regarding Hillary Clinton. And this is what YouTube has turned into. Now, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of prominent YouTubers who are very respectable, who live great lives, who do great things with the contributions that they get from their fans and from the money that they get paid on YouTube. But in light of the fact that there's an inherent liberalization going on, whether it's in the mainstream media, channels like CNN, NBC, MSNBC, CBS, whatever it may be, or even with apps and social media like Snapchat, where they have insanely biased Snapchat stories created by people who are trying to influence the election uh, for millennials, like myself. This is dangerous, and I say it's dangerous because you're almost giving people the illusion of freedom, that they should go out and fight for a certain cause, but it should only be for one side of the cause. Um, the real push to go and talk to popular YouTubers who really actually want to get involved in this election, because we can't ignore the fact that it's very important. Um, but the real case should be that we should be encouraging popular people to state their own opinion in order to help millennials and help young voters and help the vast audience of voters of any age group for that matter decide who they're going to vote for this election. We're facing very serious issues. Like I've stated in other videos, the economy, national defense and security, immigration, these are big issues this election. And for the most part, they wouldn't be talked about and they wouldn't be prominent unless, uh, excuse me, they wouldn't be prominent if we didn't have Donald Trump. Now, somebody who respects facts and um, empirical evidence and reasoning will tell you that if Hillary Clinton is elected the president of the United States, I'm not gonna jump up at the television, punch a hole through it, and shout, "Lock her up." Um, there are qualifications that Hillary Clinton has, and I don't think that anybody can doubt that. Now, nobody can also doubt that she was carelessly negligent with classified information, and that she should have known better. Even she has said this herself. In no way is this video defending Hillary Clinton whatsoever, because I believe personally, just as many people who probably watch this channel do, and it's not a big channel anyway, it's growing very slowly, but I'm very thankful for those of you who watch and who listen and formulate your own opinions. Um, but I think it's very important for you people out there who will, but in no doubt, be without any lack of confidence, be affected by this election. It's very important that um, we cannot have corruption in the White House. And Donald Trump now is a candidate who is not only standing against the Democratic political establishment, but also the Republican political establishment who has refused to endorse him. There's an inherent hypocrisy in the fact that just because Donald Trump says the word pussy, suddenly people get absolutely triggered, they lose their minds over it, but yet 5 minutes later they turn their heads away, they go back into their music, and then they listen to music, if you can even call it that, that says even worse language 75, 80 times. I wonder if some of the music that people listen to today, if people could actually count the number of swear words in there. And you just notice the inherent hypocrisy. I mean, you have people who listen to this kind of garbage, at least that's in my opinion, or this kind of form of music, so to speak, where there's inherent generalizations about different people, about women. It's essentially the bastardization of an art form that was once pure back in the 90s that actually spoke out against, I should say, real social issues. And now it's subject to materialism, and again, it's the bastardization of a true art form that I think did exist with groups like Run DMC, just for an example. Um, so again, it's it's terribly uh, uh, it's terribly wrong for people like that who choose to listen to that kind of music and voice such strong opinions over Donald Trump saying one thing. Uh, Now, whatever you believe, you have to understand that neither Trump nor Hillary um, is ignorant about the issues. They have extremely different plans that sprout from extremely different points of view. And this election has been subjected to the polarization of politics in the last 8 years. It wasn't quite so divided 4 years ago when Obama and Romney were running against each other, but there was definitely that inherent sense of like, oh shit, we have two different sides and we have a blatant split in the population. But now it's different. We have major racial issues that require a national conversation. We have blatant issues with the brutalization of both police and the victims of police brutality. Um, it's sickening to see the state of our nation like this. And personally, my opinion, remember that just for those of you who are going to comment and speak out against me, my opinion is that I would like a president who's going to finally stand up within our country and outside of our country and say, screw you. Literally, screw you. I'm going to work with my cabinet. I'm going to work with foreign leaders. We're going to shut ourselves away in a room. We're going to lock the door, and we're not coming out until we find something beneficial for the United States and her allies. Okay, I want a president who's also going to say, listen, you have this civil war going on in your country where you're begging for humanitarian aid, but yet where I live, personally, in my community, we could have a hotel where people are buying $400 bottles of wine, and next door under a highway overpass, there are homeless people um, burning wood for fire. And if you think, I want a leader who's going to say, if you think we're going to give you any humanitarian aid just because you're begging for it, you're mistaken. We have to take care of the issues in our country first, whether that's homelessness, infrastructure, whatever it may be. These are the issues that need to be taken care of because we've been, just as Hillary Clinton has been with her emails or whatever it may be, because it's not just the emails that are her issue. There's an insane amount of careless negligence going on in our country due to the polarization of politics and due to the polarization within Congress to get bills passed. As I've stated before with figures in other videos, we've only passed 6 labor bills under the Obama administration. Whether you want to blame the House or the Senate or even Obama's cabinet for it, that's up to you. That's your prerogative. At the end of the day, we have people in this country who are being choked by taxes, who are being choked by penalties because they can't pay for health insurance. And my opinion, again, my opinion is that we need to have individualized healthcare so that people can pay their own way into their healthcare plans. We need to have plans that value states' rights, that allow states to compete just as companies do in commerce, to create commerce. And it's very important that we go back to these intrinsic values because they were the values that our republic was founded off of. I like to say, when I get into conversations with liberals, at least tolerant liberals for that matter, or even conservatives who might not share my points of view, because I'm very moderate. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm a moderate conservative. Um, that the Constitution needs to be absolutely valued, and that I think I would side more with Patrick Henry than Paul Ryan. Um, and that's just because we've been subjected to an insane amount of polarization, and it's finally time to give some power back to the states and to have two boxes, and one of them representing the federal government, one of them representing the state governments, and both of them don't exceed the size of one another. We need to have equal representation, and the only way that we can do that is to have morality in business, morality in capitalism, and morality within the government. And it's up to individuals to instill that morality and to choose whether they're going to make the right or wrong choice, just as you, as a voter, have to make the decision that you think is right. Don't take my word for anything. If anything, just take my word, or at least listen to my words in order to influence your own opinion, or to give you what one side is like that's really moderate and can be tolerant of both sides, however polarized everything may be. You also have alternative options this election, however unlikely they may be. You have Gary Johnson, you have Jill Stein, you have Evan McMullen, and is Darrell Castle in it? I'm not sure if Darrell Castle is going to be on any ballots. But I live in a swing state. There are a lot of people who live in swing states, and your vote matters. No matter who you support, no matter if you fervently support Hillary, or if you fervently support Trump, or if you fervently support any of the third-party candidates, it is your obligation and your moral duty and your civic duty as an American citizen, as a citizen of the United States of America, this great country, this great republic that we all share together, not only to have a national conversation about issues that are really affecting people in this country and that need to be fixed, but also to get out to the ballots, to the ballot box, and cast your vote for whoever you think represents your policies the most. Respect for the Constitution is big for me. National defense is big for me. And maybe, hopefully one day, I'll be able to join the ranks of government and help make those decisions myself. I know this is kind of a short video, but I thank you all so much for listening to me. Stay informed, please do vote your conscience, and, you know, if you have any questions, I'd love to answer them. I'd really love to join in on a forum of free discussion, because that's what makes our republic so great. We shouldn't be condemning people to force opinions on one another. And by no means should we be forcing or coercing people who we see as popular to explain an opinion that they might not necessarily agree with. So please do stay safe for the remainder of this election, because God knows it might be a little bit hard to, especially with all the polarization going on again in social media as well. And if you like what I talk about, if you like tolerance, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, I'd love to speak to you sometime. So thank you very much once again for listening or watching, however you want to put it, and I will talk to you guys again next time. Bye-bye.